What's up, you guys? It's Cody. So I don't agree with Dave Ramsey in most situations, but this is going to be one spot that I do agree with what he has to say. He recently released a video on his channel talking about whether or not to pay off debt or to save cash in these times of uncertainty. And he had somebody call into his show and said, hey, you should be saving your cash. You should put everything on pause. You're not doing anything during these times of uncertainty. Just hold on to what you've got until this passes, and then let's continue forward on what he calls his baby steps. Now, I am not familiar with the baby steps, and I'm not familiar with necessarily his plan for paying off debt and then moving forward into an emergency fund and investing in in a retirement fund. And like I said, I don't believe that that's the quickest way to get wealthy in this world. I do think that it's a safe way and it's going to work for a lot of people, but it's not the only way and it's not the best way by any means, in my opinion. But I will say, like I mentioned, that I do agree with him on this one situation, and that is that in these times of uncertainty, it is best to save your cash and don't worry about paying off debt. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about that, why it makes sense to save the cash that you've got right now instead of paying off the debt. When you've got cash in the bank, you have control and you have freedom. You have the freedom to make choices and do as you need. This is the same as whether you've got cash or you're making payments on, let's say, a credit card or a debit card. If you're going out and you're buying stuff, you have the ability to do so when you have those numbers to transact, right? For most of us, we look at our bank accounts and it's literally just numbers in a bank account on the screen. You know, it's not generally physically cash, but we can use it in that manner. So it gives you the freedom and control to be able to do what you need to, whether it's to pay rent, pay your mortgage, pay the bills, pay for groceries, or whatever the case may be. It gives you that ability. Now, if you're going and you're paying off debt, really the only thing that that's doing for you is it's allowing you to save money on interest. The debt that you have is going to be there tomorrow, and it's going to be there in 6 months. So really the only benefit to paying off the debt is if you have the ability to drop a significant payment in your financial profile. You know, if you've got $1,000 left on your car loan and you've got $5,000 in the bank and your car loan is $500, then yeah, it might make sense to go and pay off your car loan because you're paying $500 a month for that loan and you've got the money for it already. So you could free up $500 a month of cash flow, still have $4,000 in the bank, and continue on without that debt riding over your shoulder. So there's a couple reasons why I don't love paying off debt when you have the ability to choose between whether saving cash or paying off that debt. Number one, like I said, it's you give up your freedom and control to do and make purchases when you have that cash. So if you pay off your debt, you're giving up that freedom and control. Number two, you're also tying that money up. In most cases, it's very difficult to get that money back out should you need it. If you have $10,000 left on your car loan or another form of debt, maybe a credit card or even student loans or something like when you go and make that payment, it's pretty hard to get that money back. Of course, if it is a credit card, you can go and rack up your balance again, but that's going to cause huge swings in your credit profile. So I wouldn't recommend doing that, but let's say that it's in the form of paying your car, right? Once you pay that, you can't get that money back unless you actually go and refinance your car. So by using that money to hold it into your bank account, it gives you way more options. The third reason is that when you have cash on hand, you can actually go and invest this money should you find an opportunity. In fact, right now, I think that there's massive opportunity in the stock market. I'm not saying that we should be timing the stock market. I'm not saying that we should be timing what's going on in the market. Is it going to drop? Is it ready to go back up? Who knows what's going to happen? I believe that if you put the smartest dang guy in the room here in front of me, he's not going to know what's going on either. So there's so much uncertainty. There's so many people speculating right now. But the thing that we do know is that these prices for stocks have been much higher in the past. You're talking, let's say we're talking specifically about airlines or, cruise lines. They've been very established in our market for the last, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. And they've been doing very well. Now, they are big companies. They employ many people, and they contribute significantly to the economic outlook of the nation and the world for that matter. So these are very important businesses that we need to have around. They're at all-time lows on their stocks, and we know that they've been much higher. So whether they take a government bailout or not, whether they jump back into business, next month, or maybe it's 3 months or 6 months, there's a pretty good chance that they're going to still be there, or they're going to go bankrupt, they'll restructure, and they'll come back as another company under a different name with a lot of the same employees, a lot of the same executives, and it's going to relatively be the same company. So I think that those are safe bets in today's time, especially with all the uncertainty going on. So take some of that cash. Maybe now is the time to invest it. If you do have cash, if you're still in a position where you're able to work and you're able to make your payments for your house and for your groceries and for other obligations that you really need to pay each month, maybe now is time to take some of that cash, put it into the market. I know it's going to be scary, but if you do it and you hold on to those stocks for a year, 2 years, 3 years, maybe 5 or 10 years, depending on your situation, you're going to be in a pretty good spot. Everybody always talks about, man, if we were back in the 2008, 2009, I would have put so much money into the market if I knew where it was going to go. And guys, we're in that same situation here. We're in a position where there's going to be volatility and there's going to be uncertainty. The market has come down, but if you look at past times, it almost always goes back up. If you look at a long enough history, it's going to go back up. If the stock market does not go back up, you've got bigger problems to worry about. So I think that that's one of the things that everybody needs to remember is take your money, don't pay off your debt just yet, hold on to the cash because it gives you freedom and control, and you've got it. You can spend it tomorrow, you can spend it next week, or whenever you need to. So take that money, hold on to it, and possibly even invest it if you have the ability to do so. One of the things that I do personally is I actually use a HELOC to help with my monthly cash flows. Sometimes I've got months where I have more expenses than the month before, or my income will fluctuate from month to month. Being in real estate, that is pretty common to see that. So I have months where I'm gonna have income that's low and expenses that are high, and I actually use a HELOC as part of my investing strategy and also as part of my cash flow strategy. The nice thing about a HELOC is when I pay that down, I can pull that money back out the next day. So if I put money into it in order to save on the interest that I get charged each day, I can then go and pull that money back out the next day should I need it. So this works great to have as an emergency fund. It works great for a checking account, and I kind of use it as that type of account so that I can save on interest, but at the same time, I use that HELOC for different types of investments. I'm paying it down from the last time I used it, which was to refinance a property and put some of the money down that I had to on that loan. So I took money out of the HELOC, used it as a down payment on the investment so that I could then earn money over there and have that investment. And now I'm putting money back into the HELOC to pay it down and save on that interest. Guys, there's a lot of different ways you can go about this, whether you're spending with cash, whether you're putting it on a card, credit card or debit card or not, it doesn't matter. What I would recommend is save the cash that you have, reduce your expenses as much as possible, go through your credit card bills or your bank statements or whatever you need to do to find out where you're spending your money, where you can cut back during this uncertain time, and figure out what you need to do to get yourself in a position where you can strike when the iron is hot. There's gonna be opportunities coming. I've made numerous videos about this. Keep your eyes open. There's gonna be opportunities in stocks. There's gonna be opportunities in real estate. And overall, there's gonna be a lot of stuff that you can really take advantage of, even opportunities in business. There are gonna be mom and pop shops that go out of business. It's an unfortunate reality of this time that we live in. There's gonna be restaurants that go out of business. There's gonna be, different businesses in the shopping malls in your local area that are going to go out of business, and this could be the time where it makes sense for you to take that step, take that risk, and jump into something that you've always wanted to do with less competition. And once this economy recovers, there's a good chance you'll be doing it in a very pro-business economy. So guys, as always, if you've made it to the end here, thank you for watching. I appreciate your support as always here on the channel. I'm going to be posting more videos about money, real estate, finance, and all things going on in the world relating to how you can get ahead and start earning more money in your life. So subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Give me a thumbs up here on the video if you enjoyed this content, and make sure you click that bell on the subscribe button so you don't miss any videos about what I'm going to be posting here on the channel. As always, thank you for the support. I'll see you next time.